Plants, the only species without which we cannot survive. Plants can survive without us, but we cannot. So, what does the plant need to survive? Essentially, so they need the first thing the food, and the food is from sunlight. They make their own food from the sunlight, and the second thing which they need to nurture themselves is the soil. So, what is soil? The most important question, and one of the existence of our living planet. So today, I would like to support the movement which many individuals and organizations are carrying across the globe to save soil. One of the individual is Sadhguru and Isha Foundation. So to support them and many others like them, here is a little contribution in terms of the blog and from this short clip. So let's understand what is soil, dust and carbon. Relationship between carbon, soil and dust. For ourselves and for our generations to come, we need to act so that we do not meet an impasse where all the smart buildings and artificial intelligence based technologies, the cars, do not go in vain. It's not our duty, but also is essential to safeguard and provide security to our soil from being degraded and being converted in the form of dust, an infertile form. The knowledge regarding the relationship between carbon, soil, and the dust at every level, starting from the schools till the masters in agriculture, horticulture, is a must. Soil is the most complex yet the essential source of nature to maintain the ecological balance and the existence of the living beings. Our educational way, Pan Globe, does not have the explicit ways of explaining the fundamentals and phenomena involved for the subject known as soil. As we have been finagled to believe the power of industrial agriculture, chemicals needed as the pesticides and monetary benefits over the threat of the scarce resources we are going to have in near future is to be understood and to be worked upon. So to begin with that, I will begin with the atmosphere. So what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is broadly defined as the law which defines the existence of all the planets of our solar system. One of the wonders of the atmosphere is toward our planet, the Earth. It starts from the thin blue line, which is fragile, which is a gas layer at about 18 kilometers from the surface of the Earth, a tenuous yet an assuasive line which protects us from many radiations. The oxygen and the water this atmosphere holds plays the fundamental role for the survival of the inhabitants of our living planet. There is the common link between us all, between all the living beings, including plants, soils, everything. And that element and the link is carbon. One of the good guys, one of the guys we need it. I am more than 15 to 16% carbon as a human. So, we breathe in the oxygen and push the carbon dioxide out. Plants pull the carbon dioxide out of this atmosphere. They turn this into the carbon fuel and they grow. Do you know out of 100% of carbon dioxide pulled by the plants, some 40% of that carbon is sent to their roots as a part of their molecular and micromechanism. From the roots, this carbon is pumped to the soil microorganism. Thus, plant feed the soil microorganism and the soil microorganism get the mineral nutrients back to these plants. In this process, soil microorganism make a carbon glue out of that processed carbon fuel. They make the pockets in the soil to control the flow of air and the water. The soil has a unique ability to sequester carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. In the handful of soil, do you know there are approximately tens and billions of organisms. These organisms processes the organic matter, they convert this into nutrients required by the plants for their growth. But look at us, look at the human being. The toxic chemicals like glyphosate kills the microorganism and we are using it in abundance. And they kill this microorganism in the soil, not only in the soil but also they kill the microbes in our body, which is a leading and major cause of neurodisorder, disrupted homeostasis, cancer and many other disorders and illnesses related to this. This is due to the ways it enters. It means the glyphosate and the chemicals which we are using as a pesticide, it enters through the soil into the plants, air and water and finally into our bodies. Our body can really handle the acute stresses and some illnesses but not the chronic ones. The same goes for the soil. If we keep dumping all these toxic chemicals, reducing carbon in them, we will create more of the natural calamities like dust bowl, dust storms, tsunami. Our industrial agriculture is just not only harming the soil but is also responsible for the calamities. When we damage the soil, we damage the carbon. Also the tillage process, the process used to kill pesticides, releases water and the carbon from it, because of which the fertile and rich nutrient soil is converted in the form of dust. And this process is known as desertification. We do not need evaporation process only. What we also need in abundance is the process of transpiration. This is the process where the moisture follows through the shoot of the trees, plants, and when this process is being driven, we increase the humidity in the atmosphere, which means there are more rains, which means the living planet, the earth, flourishes. The best part is, at the moment while I'm speaking, we all are fully aware of the methods and the steps to be taken to save our soil, to nurture it, to prevent it becoming a rich nutrient, and to prevent it from becoming a dust. We have to make our soils rich nutrient. We have to nurture our plants. So save soil. Leave the legacy in the forms of education and the abundant natural resources. This is all we can leave for us, for our living planet before we depart. Hope that you are now truly included in the mission of saving the soil and preventing the soil, also nurturing our plants. So let's come together and save soil.